Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. Atiur Rahman, former Governor Bangladesh Bank and Chairperson Unnayan Samanway, respected special guest, Professor Dr. Muhammad Shahadat Hussain Siddiqui, Department of Economics, University of Dhaka, keynote speaker, Mr. Sabbir Ahmed, FCA Managing Partner, Ahmed Sheikh Roy and Company, Chartered Accountants and Session Chairman, Mr. M. Nurul Alam, FCS, Senior Vice President, ICSB, respected council members, distinguished delegates, high officials of government regulatory bodies, members of ICSB, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon. On behalf of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Bangladesh and my own behalf, I feel extremely privileged to have the honor in extending warm welcome to each and every one of you for being present in this seminar on pre-budget discussion addressing economic challenges. At this auspicious occasion, first of all, I take the opportunity to express my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Professor Dr. Atiur Rahman, Professor Dr. Muhammad Shahadat Hussain Siddiqui, and keynote speaker Mr. Sabbir Ahmed, FCA, for accepting our invitation and rationing their valuable times for our seminar today. Dear participants, Professor Dr. Atiur Rahman was the 10th governor of Bangladesh Bank from May 2009 to March 2016. Who is well known to all of us, Dr. Atiur Rahman has been renowned economist and scholar in his varied roles as a university professor, researcher, banker, and leader in pre-poor, environment-friendly, and gender-sensitive development paradigms. Prior to his assumption of the office of the governor, he was a professor of economics in the Department of Development Studies, University of Dhaka. We are very glad to have with us Professor Dr. Muhammad Shahadat Hussain Siddiqui, Department of Economics, University of Dhaka. Dr. Siddiqui obtained his PhD in Development Policy and Management from the University of Manchester, UK. He also obtained Masters in Economics from Erasmus University, Rotterdam, Netherlands. We are also very glad to have with us Mr. Sabbir Ahmed, FCA, Managing Partner, Ahmed Sheikh Roy and Company, Chartered Accountants, the keynote speaker and pre-budget discussions addressing economic challenges, which is very important to the NBR and also to the members of ICSB for the economic development of Bangladesh. Mr. Sabbir Ahmed, FCA, is the Managing Partner, Ahmed Sheikh Roy and Company, Chartered Accountants and Lead Consultant and Chairman of Dhaka Consulting Limited. He participates in live TV talk shows and is a regular contributor to national dailies and online portals on corporate governance, economy, and current affairs. We are extremely grateful to you all, sir, for your kind presence in our program despite your busy schedule. Dear participants, today's topic of the CBD seminar is pre-budget discussions addressing economic challenges. Under this important banner, I would like to say a few words on the overall economy of Bangladesh. In recent years, Bangladesh has struggled to maintain fiscal stability due to adverse global and national developments, including declining tax revenue, rising interest rates, and increasing commodity prices. The steady increase in financing of the deficit contributed to increasing the public debt to GDP ratio after a long period of decline and also created problems for proper financing mix for the budget. After 2012, the GDP growth rate picked up impressively, but the growth in tax revenue failed to keep pace with the GDP growth. Bangladesh total tax revenue consists of about 2/3 indirect tax and 1/3 direct tax. In contrast, in all countries within the region that have successfully increased overall tax revenue, for example, Thailand, we observed a steady move away from dependency on indirect tax to greater reliance on direct taxes. China demonstrates how the loss of indirect tax was more than compensated by gains in direct taxes. With a structure similar to Bangladesh, India has progressed significantly in increasing reliance on direct taxes. South Korea has grown its total tax revenue solely by increasing its reliance on direct taxation. In the year 1980s, direct tax made up one-third of total revenue. They now make up two-thirds of the total revenue of the country. In the decade up to 2020, the Bangladesh economy was undoubted success story under the leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Real GDP increased at an average annual rate close to 7%, lifting living standards for the people while inflation remained moderate, also averaged close to 7%. This was achieved without any fiscal imbalance developing in the economy. Prudent fiscal policies limited budget deficits to below 5% of GDP and kept government debt under control. The ratio of gross government debt to GDP only increased from 30 to 35% between 2010 and 2019, and it remained well below the level in neighboring economies like India, Thailand, Malaysia, and China, where their ratio ranged from 40 to 75%. In 2023, Bangladesh experienced the worst macroeconomic instability in recent years, while until 2019, the country was cited as a successful case of macroeconomic stability. The COVID-19 pandemic inflicted a significant scare in 2020 and 2021. While the economy went through a recovery process in late 2021 and early 2022, the war in Ukraine and resultant global supply shock triggered domestic macroeconomic instability which persists. It shows that the tax to GDP ratio for Bangladesh, a key indicator of a nation's ability to fund its development priorities, has dipped to 7.30% in financial year 2023 from 7.54% in financial year 2022 and 7.64% in financial year 2021. This decline can be attributed to tax revenue growing at a slower pace compared to the expansion of the economy. Depending the plight, Bangladesh is sinking to the bottom of South Asia's tax to GDP ratio league table. The OECD data showed while the Maldives 17.7%, Bhutan 10.7%, and Pakistan 10.3%. So with double-digit ratios, we lag far behind to them. To increase the tax net, the National Board of Revenue has taken several policies. These policies have been partially successful in raising the number of taxpayers, but the return submission number remains very low. People would like to pay tax in a simple and transparent manner, but they do not know the tax payment benefits which are not clearly defined in Bangladesh. Based on the available information in Pakistan, the number of higher out of 10.3 million taxpayers, the return submission is 3.38 million. In Nepal, it is 2.2 million out of 3.05 million taxpayers. Nepal's population is 29.67 million, is much lower than Bangladesh, but 10.28% of the total population pays tax, while in Bangladesh is about 6.32%. In India, out of 82.28 million taxpayers, returns are submitted by 58.9 million. Similarly, in Sri Lanka, out of 1.7 million taxpayers, but 1.5 million submit tax returns. Vietnam 18.2%, Cambodia 18%, and Indonesia 10.9%. We are falling behind. It is time to ask what is the holding us back, and how can we rise the challenge? Imperatives for tax reform to boost revenues. Significantly increasing government revenues relative to GDP will require to strong political commitment to fundamental reforms in the tax systems and tax administration. This will take several years to implement and comprise many different initiatives. However, it should be noted that the global shock resulting from the war in Ukraine was also a catalyst, while the current macroeconomic crisis in Bangladesh has deep roots in persistent, unresolved structural issues, which includes poor tax revenue performance, a fragile banking sector, ineffective public expenditure management, unsuitable trade and industrial policies for economic and export diversification, low FDI, inadequate public spending on health and education, and weak institutions. Furthermore, in absence of an effective reform of the taxation sector, the prospect of substantial domestic revenue mobilization will remain bleak. Public spending on critical sectors like health and education will remain small, and the government will continue to borrow hefty amounts of money from domestic and external sources for budgetary support. It may be mentioned that the Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs of the government, in their meeting held on Wednesday, targets 110 billion export by financial year 27. Although it will be very challenging, but I think it will be possible to implement if the government take strong initiatives. In conclusion, the national budget for financial year 25 will be placed at a time when the country is facing formidable challenges in a number of areas. However, my observations and suggestions are as follows. Restoring macroeconomic stability in the main challenge facing the policymakers, who must be cognizant of the present economic realities and identify concrete measures to address the attendant challenges. The macro budgetary framework for financial year 25 must focus on curtailing the rates of inflation and stabilizing the exchange rates. To tight control of the inflation and to undertake strong measures to reduce the rising cost of essentials. Fiscal and financial measures for clean energy, protecting public health, incentivizing education and environment. Government should raise revenue collection by expanding the tax net in order to create more fiscal space. Proper attention should be given to food production, social protection, subsidies for agriculture, health and education sector. To take strict measures to ensure good governance and restore discipline in financial sectors of the country. These will require strong political leadership and a willingness to push ahead in the face of objections from those with a vested interest in the present situation. Failure to act would risk a deterioration in Bangladesh economy and fiscal stability. Making the reforms proposed here and taking other action to increase revenue are necessary to ensure that Bangladesh remains one of the world's economic success stories for the next 2 decades. With the members of ICSB established under an Act of Parliament, we will work together with the government of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to overcome the economic challenges of the country in the coming years. Honorable Chief Guest and Special Guest, Sir, we thank you once again for extending your kind cooperation for enabling the enabling us holding this seminar today. We are very grateful to you for your kind presence in our seminar. Our learned keynote speaker will present the paper on the topic and will contribute in details in the brainstorming session. I hope our chief guest, Dr. Atiur Rahman, will give us a total scenario on the topics of our seminar in details. I hope all the participants will enjoy the whole program and will find it very interesting as well as useful in their day-to-day work. I hereby inaugurate this seminar on pre-budget discussion addressing economic challenges. Thank you all for your kind attention. Joy Bangla.